Hi, I'm Kevin Crawford with the Quadient Digital Print Group. Today I'm going to demonstrate some of the amazing features and functionality of the MACH 7 Color Inkjet Envelope Printer. Let's do a quick overview of the MACH 7. The MACH 7 uses HP Thermal Inkjet 4.0 printing technology, a very stable and robust printing system that is designed for maximum productivity. It is a full-color, variable data and graphics printer and outputs up to 1200 by 1200 dpi print quality. The MACH 7 uses aqueous pigmented ink, which is water-fast on plain paper and inkjet-coated media. It's very productive and can print up to 10,000 number 10 envelopes per hour. It has a maximum print width of 11.7 inches, which allows us to print a 10 by 13 full bleed. Our center-based intelligent belt feeder rests on a glide rail for easy positioning and quick media changeovers. The AccuTrack registration transport receives media from the printer and corrects skew prior to entering the print engine. Our class-leading cost per piece is because our ink and maintenance costs are lower than memjet-based print engines. We anticipate a well-maintained engine can get up to 2 million prints out of the life of one engine. We can run materials like bubble mailers and corrugated cardboard with our half-inch thickness limit. This final piece is a huge selling point. The machine comes with a fully functioning Windows driver. Other OEMs using the FI1000 must include a RIP with their machine, adding cost. Our system does not. And finally, our all-metal construction is made and designed in the United States of America. Now, let's take a closer look at this wonderful device.
The MACH 7 gives us flexibility to run different types of jobs on different types of media. Here are a few examples of what we can run. Bubble mailers, 10 by 13 full bleed, corrugated cardboard, remits and other small types of enclosures, low coverage number 10s are bread and butter, number 10 full bleeds, and also high coverage full bleeds, all around high ink usage, very good quality. And most importantly, we can do lower cost per print over our previous systems. This file costs us $28 per thousand to print on our memjet products and about $20 per thousand to print on our new MACH 7, a significant savings. When we designed the new MACH 7, we had number 10 envelopes with maximum productivity in mind, which is why we designed a center-based feeding system which allows us to run number 10 envelopes in landscape mode, which is the most efficient way to run them through the system. We really took a lot of time and effort to develop a feed system that will work in conjunction with the printer and two components, the feeder and the registration assembly. To create the AccuTrack registration system, the MACH feeder is connected to the MACH 7 with intelligent control. And that means the printer knows the material as soon as it enters the feed system or exits the feed system on its way to the print engine. That allows us to control the gap precisely from the feeder and the feed system as quickly as possible for any given piece of artwork. The MACH feeder is a totally different approach from our previous generation of feed systems, which were mostly designed to run in portrait applications. This is a center-based design, allowing us to run landscape more efficiently. Our feeder has a single separator that is mounted in the center of the system. It is a belt-driven design with a clutch and exit assembly. These rollers here allow us to fine-tune the pressure on the pieces as they're going out to print. An important new feature of the MACH feeder is the stack agitator. It's a mechanism on the back of the system that works with the elevation guide to agitate the stack of material as it is running. It's a subtle change, but it allows the material to drop down as evenly as possible and to continue to run without any intervention from the operator. Changing media sizes is easier with our sliding riser stand. Just unlock your mechanism here and move your center-based feeder to any position that you want based on the size of the media that you're running. Lock it in, and then you're ready to go. As you can see here, our transport roller wheels are angled towards the left plate, giving us a square registration against the side guide on that one side. The registration system also has a center media strap that allows us to also hold down the media as flat as possible going into the print engine. A quick look at our feeder and AccuTrack system in action. You can see our pieces going into our registration area, feeding out of the feeder very smoothly with all of our adjustments that we've made on our tension rollers and our drive wheels going in, giving you the best possible feeding experience and registration into the machine as possible. Topside view here, you can see our bubble mailers going into our registration table with our side rollers pushing them left into the side guide, with our center strap keeping the head down as it's going into the print engine, and everything running smoothly on our tracks into the print area. We believe that we've designed the best feeder in the industry, whether you're running remits, number 10s, bubble mailers, or even corrugated cardboard. We believe that we can meet the challenges of any jobs you could possibly throw at this machine.
The user interface for the MACH 7 has been improved to include more functionality and to be more user-friendly than before, while at the same time providing a familiar interface for customers that are on an upgrade path from their existing color print systems. The 7-inch display allows you to access all of the common functions. We can set up our media, we can manage our print queue, we can handle network configuration right from here, as well as accessing diagnostics and store jobs, maintenance functions, and print head alignment. This is our new print queue manager. As we talked about with Print Driver, when you send your jobs over, if you send 100 copies, it'll show up here as one print job. If you send 10,000 records over, it's going to show up as a series of print jobs. All right, so now I just sent a print job of 10,000 records over to the MACH 7, and you'll see here on the left-hand side, it shows that it is spooling over the network. As soon as the first 500 records are spooled up, they will actually appear on the list here, and then the subsequent job chunks will also show up. So here you can see the first job chunk has arrived. The printer will start printing. I'm going to pause it right here. I want to show you some of the great features. What we've done is we have built an entire platform above the HP engine, so we can actually pause and resume print jobs. But let's say I had a misprint. I can now do something that nobody else with an FI1000 engine can do. I can actually go back a few records and reprint the damaged envelopes right from here. And you can see our next batch just showed up, and that's going to print as soon as we're done with this first batch. So that'll continue to process, and that's where you can set that job chunk to an appropriate size so that those records will process through the spooler and get to the print queue in enough time to be able to be printing and ready to go as soon as that next batch, the previous batch, is done. Now I can clear the queue from here. I can clear individual pieces. So if these were multiple jobs and I wanted to delete one of the jobs that was spooled up, I can do that as well. So again, if you remember from previous print systems that we had, you couldn't send multiple jobs in a row to the printer. You had to wait until that job was done. Well, now you can queue up 5 or 6 jobs if you wanted, and send them to the printer, and they're going to wait and store in the print queue ready to go. I can then clear that queue, and that will get rid of everything in the printer. But that gets you an idea of what the new print queue does. Gives you a lot more control over your output while you're working with your Mach 7. Media setup, a great function that we have with the existing system. We brought that over to the Mach 7, but we've made it even better, like everything else. So yes, you can set your thickness dial wherever you want to set it to, and that will automatically raise or lower the print head for you. You can see it going on in action here. But what we've added to this area are feed gap delay. We have individual nudges, so if you just want to go in 0.1 millimeter increments, you can do that using these buttons here, or you can go all the way down or all the way up right from the touch screen here. One of the other great features of this new system is I can now set presets. So these little buttons on the side allow us to set presets for common jobs. So I have 3 presets that are available to me, and then I can save those values here. And if I wanted to call up those presets, I just click on the number and hit apply. So in order to choose these presets, I would just select any one of them and then hit apply. And the system will actually allow you to go to those other values, and then it will show you previous setting as well. We have our stored jobs. Again, this is a familiar function for existing customers, but it allows us to call up those print jobs and reprint them right from the printer. Now, the way the Mach 7 and the HP engine works, we don't have as much flexibility with the store jobs, but we can change the number of copies, or if you had a multi-record job, you could set the number of records to print from here. Anything more advanced like positioning or paper size or anything would have to be done from the print driver before you print the job. And you can call up those jobs, get your preview, then delete or manage your jobs from here. One of the great new features in the Mach 7 touchscreen is quick access to print head alignment. Like our other full color inkjet systems, the Mach 7 uses a wide print bar that prints all 4 colors in one pass at one time. And that's achieved through 13 dies on that print bar. The alignment section allows you to individually customize alignment on any of those dies, vertically or horizontally. We also have the ability with these quick access buttons to squeeze them all together or spread them all out. You can print your alignment sheet, which we will do now, just by clicking this button, and that will give you the ability to visually see where your head alignment is and what you want to do to manipulate it. And I'm going to load a 10 by 13 envelope in order to do this, to see as much of that print bar as we can and see what that looks like. So you can see on the touch screen that your alignment values will line up with the horizontal or vertical alignment in between the dies, and that's what these little arrows represent. 0, obviously we can't touch because that's the end of the print area. And then this is where 1, 2, 3, etc. So if we wanted to adjust the overlap for die 10, let's say we wanted to expand that a little bit here, we could do that. Go to the touch screen and click on die number 10. And then we can actually increase that overlap. We set that, and then we can apply that value, and then we can print out another alignment sheet right from the control panel. So this is a very easy way for the customer to handle a relatively complex process quickly and easily. The new Mach 7 has a feature that sets us apart from the competition as well with our Windows driver. Our 64-bit Windows driver allows us to manage color, change paper profiles, use custom sizes, store presets, as well as printing copies and storing jobs to the printer. So let's take a look. As you can see, the Windows driver has your material size, your paper profiles, color selections, as well as your print modes and other functions right here at your fingertips. All of these features are available to be customized and saved as a preset. Material sizes that come standard with the system are a wide range of materials, and then you can add new envelopes simply by typing in the name and size. I can also export all of these pieces if I wanted to save that to a database that I could then transfer to another Mach 7, because once you get one Mach 7, you're always going to want to get another one. Once I choose my media size, I can then say what paper profiles I want to use. You can see that we have 7 paper profiles standard, everything from plain paper, premium envelopes, inkjet stocks and coated stocks, to craft paper as well. You can also change to composite black or black only output. Remember, the Mach 7 is extremely efficient from a cost perspective, especially with its black ink. So if you're just printing black addresses or something of that nature, it's going to be almost as affordable as our monochrome printers, which are very, very low cost per piece. Print quality, we have best or normal. So for Mach 6 customers, that will be familiar language. And that gives us the access to our 1200 by 1200 DPI or 1200 by 600 DPI output. We also call this our production speed. We can capture our jobs, and this will allow us to capture a single page, a number of copies, or even a variable page job to the stored jobs section of the Mach 7. We also have the ability to not print that file if you want to just save it to the library for later use. The section here is how the jobs can be split up. And this is one of the ways that we manage larger files in order to keep the printer running and printing faster. So let's say you had a 10,000 page PDF with variable data. You don't want to send all 10,000 pages to the spooler at one time. So you can break those up into what we call job chunks. If you had a lot of graphics like we have on this image here, you may want to do a lower job chunk. So you're processing more records, but in more groups. You can set your numbers of copies here, and it allows you to override the native program settings there. Orientation, typically you're going to be running in portrait mode with your left alignment. Again, remember the Mach 7 uses everything aligned against the left side of the AccuTrack registration system, which is the operator side. Pretty much all of our jobs will be set up as portrait jobs with this configuration. Printing adjustments, you can shift your horizontal position or your vertical offset. Horizontal is within the AccuTrack registration system. Think about it from the operator side to the back edge of the printer. Vertical offset is your leading edge. That's your top of form. The color sliders are a great feature that are built into the driver as well. And this allows you to adjust your ink levels. You can do it individually or all together. So if I wanted to use less black or more yellow or less yellow, or if I wanted to tie them all together, I could do that as well. You can adjust your color tone as well as your brightness and your saturation. And that is our wonderful Windows driver. With the introduction of the MACH 9 and MACH 7, we have a new color management system called MACH Color QuickBrip. This is the same software that is running on the MACH 9 currently, and we have a Windows version that is available for the MACH 7. What MACH Color allows customers to do is manage PDFs quickly and easily and store those jobs in the system. Uploading files is as simple as clicking right on the screen or dragging files from your Explorer right into here. We now have those files available to do color management or imposition as well. Now we take an example like our 10 by 13 news flash, and we can handle rotation of the image, scaling up or down, as well as offsetting the image. Typically, this is where you would use your positioning tools when you're doing a bleed print job such as this. The top of the preview here is your leading edge. So this is your 11.7 inch wide print zone. So as you can see, this is a 10 by 13 envelope. And we produce output from here. We could send one to the printer and test it to see where we needed to adjust our positioning. And let's say we needed to shift it over a millimeter. We could do that. And we need to shift it up a millimeter or two, we could do that. What's really nice about this function is that when you make these changes, it stays with that file and that job. So if I go to work on another envelope and come back to this one, all of those features are stored with this workflow. I can also use different output configurations and store that job with those individual output configurations. So if I wanted to print this in best mode, I could do that as well and have the same adjustments there. These are simple positioning functions, and then we also have the ability to adjust our ink values as a whole or individually, similar to what's in the printer driver. Then we have some other functions down here, but we don't really play with the more advanced features here. I send one of those to the printer. It will print with this particular output configuration. To handle color replacement, click on Quick Color up here. This will show us a preview of the file, and then we can pick a color within that image. So let's say we wanted to replace the red in the bow in this image. We could select that color. Or what if we just wanted to replace this particular color in the news? We could do that as well. Choose that color. We can then print out a swatch on a sheet of paper that is commensurate with the material that we're printing on. So if we were going to do a 10 by 13 envelope, for instance, we could do that here and size the swatches accordingly. The smaller the swatches, the more swatches you can fit onto the page to give you more color choices, right? Then you can also increase the radius to create more variation within those colors. The wider the radius, the wider the gamut of colors that you're going to see as available choices. You can also then see what it's going to look like on your sheet. So I would then print out one of these swatch sheets to select a color. And then once I do that, let's say I wanted this purple instead of the pink that was in there. Select that color. And now you can see that that color is replaced. Now again, this is more suited for something like replacing an individual spot color, and any adjustments that you make will affect other colors that use those same values in the artwork. So if I wanted to go back and start over again, I can do that here. And let's say I wanted to replace this particular orange. I can do that as well. Again, print my swatches out, select a color, then I can get a visual preview of what that's going to look like. I can then print that envelope out to see if that's what I wanted to achieve, and then I can refine it from there. Maybe bring the radius down to zoom in on the color that I want to get, and then print that out. Once I'm done, select my color. I can then apply those transformations to the PDF or just to the output configuration. Once I apply those color transformations, I can go back, and now those are applied here in my artwork. If I want to go back to the default settings, I can go ahead and do that and return everything back to default. And I can get rid of those color transformations simply from going into here and removing them. The Mach 7, of course, also has a toolbox that provides users with access to most of the common features that are also on the touchscreen, but then additional functionality and controls that you can't get to from that interface. And this will look familiar to our existing customers, of course. It shows you the printer itself and the sensor status that we have with the feeder, the top of form, the exit sensor, the print head position. All of those are very informative and intuitive settings. And you can also see what your thickness is set to right here on the screen. You've got all of your ink information and your job information, as well as your last throughput speed as well. And again, this also allows you to control the printer over the network. So if you're in a different room, you can still monitor what's going on with the system, cancel jobs, or clear them right from your printer. This is also how we get to view our cost per print information. We can see our job logs here, and then that will show us all of the jobs that we ran and what our cost per piece would be. We can manage our print queue remotely as well as pause and clear the queue right from the toolbox here.
So that concludes our demonstration for today. I hope you enjoyed what we had to present. If you have any further questions or would like more sales information, please reach out to your Quadient or Arena sales representative, and we'll talk to you soon.